everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. This time, we're talking all about women's health and nutrition.
Yeah,
And to guide us, we have a woman's guide to nutritional wellness.
right. And we're going to dig into really the most practical and useful information from the book, not just give you a summary or anything.
Absolutely. This is about you. We're trying to figure out how to apply these concepts to your everyday life.
Exactly. So one of the things I really appreciated about this book is, it's not about telling women what to do. It's about empowering them. You know what I mean?
Okay, I love that, but empowerment is like such a buzzword these days, you know? What does that actually look like when we're talking about nutrition specifically for women?
Well, it's recognizing that women's bodies and their nutritional needs are really unique, right?
Right.
And this book really gets into how hormones, energy levels, even your mental resilience are all tied to what you eat.
Okay, so we're talking about more than just counting calories or following the latest fad diet, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's really about understanding how food impacts every single part of your life as a woman and using that knowledge to feel your best.
I love that.
One thing this book does really well is it breaks down these nutritional needs by different life stages.
Oh, that's so smart, right? Because what I needed in my 20s is not what I need now. So tell me, how does the book kind of categorize or break down these different life stages?
Yeah, it covers everything. It really does. Like from, your younger years, building that strong foundation all the way to going through menopause
Yeah.
and everything in between.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and it provides really specific advice tailored to each of those phases.
Okay, I'm hooked already. So let's start with those younger years. What kind of nutritional wisdom does the book offer for women in their 20s and 30s?
Well, it stresses that what you eat during those years can really have a long-term impact on your health.
Right.
It's not just about fitting into your skinny jeans.
Yeah.
It's about investing in your future well-being.
Oh, I like that. Okay, so give me the inside scoop. What are some of those foundational habits that it recommends?
One of the big ones, and this is huge, is making sure that you're getting enough calcium and vitamin D.
Right.
Because, that is so crucial for building strong bones, which is especially important when you're younger because it can help prevent things like osteoporosis later on.
That's a really good point because I feel like so many women, we don't get enough calcium. What else? What else does it talk about?
Iron. Iron is another big one.
Yeah.
Iron is so essential for energy production. And, a lot of women, especially women who have heavy periods, they might be low in iron.
Yeah.
And so the book talks about incorporating things like lean meats, leafy greens, and fortified cereals into your diet to kind of up that iron intake.
Right. It's amazing how much our energy levels are tied to what we put in our bodies, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
Speaking of energy, I have to ask, what about coffee? Asking for a friend.
The book doesn't demonize coffee or anything,
Okay.
but it does encourage women to be mindful of their caffeine intake.
Okay.
Maybe opt for herbal teas or water, especially if you're someone who struggles with fatigue or hormonal imbalances.
Yeah.
It's about listening to your body and seeing how it reacts.
Yeah, that's a good reminder for me. Sometimes I think I literally run on coffee alone. So, okay, that's good advice.
Yeah.
The book also talks about the importance of healthy fats, specifically for hormone balance, right?
Yeah.
So let's break that down a little bit. What kind of fats are we talking about and why are they so important for women, particularly in this age group?
Right. We're talking about the good fats, right?
Okay.
The ones you find in avocados, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish.
Yeah.
Like salmon. These fats are so important for hormone production.
Mm-hmm.
And having those hormones balanced, that's key for everything. I mean, from your mood to regulating your cycle to even fertility.
Right.
It's all connected.
Wow.
And it even the book even mentions how it can benefit your skin, hair, and nails.
Oh, wow.
It's nourishing yourself from the inside out.
I love that. That's such a good way to put it. It makes so much sense though, right?
Yeah.
When we give our bodies the right building blocks, they can function at their best.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've talked about building that strong foundation in our 20s and 30s, but what about when life throws a curveball at you,
Yeah.
pregnancy? I know our nutritional needs completely change.
Oh, yeah, big time.
So what insights does the book offer for expectant mothers?
Well, one of the first things it says is that It's not just about eating for two, it's about nourishing two.
Oh, I like that. Nourishing too. So it's about quality over quantity.
Exactly. And it really emphasizes the importance of nutrient-dense foods,
Okay.
especially ones that are high in things like folic acid, iron, omega-3 fatty acids.
Okay. So what kind of foods are we talking about here specifically during pregnancy that it recommends?
Well, for folic acid, which is crucial in those early stages of pregnancy,
Hmm.
for the baby's brain and spinal cord development, it suggests loading up on leafy greens,
Right.
citrus fruits, fortified cereals.
Yeah, I remember my doctor like drilling that into my head, like first trimester, folic acid, folic acid.
Exactly.
And it's amazing how just like small amounts of like certain nutrients can make such a big difference for a developing baby.
Right?
What about iron? Why is that so important during pregnancy?
So iron is what helps you produce red blood cells.
Okay.
And during pregnancy, a woman's blood volume increases a lot to help support the growing baby.
Right.
And so the book suggests eating things like red meat, beans, lentils to help prevent something called iron deficiency anemia,
Okay.
which can lead to fatigue and other complications.
Yeah, it's like our bodies are working overtime during pregnancy. It's like a whole masterclass in adaptation.
Absolutely.
The book sounds like a great resource for kind of navigating all those changes.
Yeah.
What about after the baby arrives? Like, I feel like postpartum is kind of like its own beast, wouldn't you say? Like,
Mm.
it can be just as demanding on a woman's body as pregnancy.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
The book talks about how important it is to replenish nutrient stores that may have been depleted during pregnancy and breastfeeding.
Okay, that makes sense.
For example, omega-3 fatty acids, those are really important for both mom and baby's brain health.
Right. And I would imagine sleep is probably,
Very little.
not really happening. Yeah.
Yeah,
So those omega-3s for brain function are probably crucial for new moms.
really important.
So it sounds like this book really takes like a holistic approach to women's nutrition. You know what I mean? It's like considering all these different factors that are at play in our lives.
It does, and it doesn't stop there. It goes on to address the nutritional needs of women as they age, particularly during perimenopause and menopause.
Okay, let's talk about that because I know that, for a lot of women, menopause can be a time of like really big changes, physically and emotionally.
For sure.
So what kind of like dietary advice does it offer for navigating that transition?
So one of the things it emphasizes is the importance of calcium and vitamin D for maintaining bone health.
Okay.
As women go through menopause, estrogen levels decline, and that can actually increase the risk of osteoporosis.
Right.
So the book suggests making sure you're incorporating calcium-rich foods into your diet,
Mm.
like dairy products, leafy greens, things like that,
Okay.
as well as getting enough vitamin D, either through sunlight or through supplements.
Right, because strong bones, we need those no matter what age we are, but especially as we get older.
Exactly.
So what else does the book say specifically for women in this stage of life?
It talks about managing weight fluctuations, which can be really common during menopause because of the hormonal changes. It encourages women to really focus on eating a balanced diet.
Yeah.
Lots of fruits, vegetables, lean protein,
Okay.
and also incorporating regular exercise.
So it's not just about what we eat, it's also about how we're moving our bodies.
100%. The book stresses how important it is to stay active throughout all stages of life,
Right.
but especially during menopause.
Mm-hmm.
And it even suggests specific types of exercise,
Okay. Like what?
like strength training,
Oh, okay.
which can help maintain bone density and muscle mass.
Oh, that's a good reminder. I've been meaning to try that new strength training class at my gym.
You should. It's a great workout.
I'll let you know how it goes.
Okay.
What else? What else does it say?
It also talks about managing stress,
Okay.
which can really impact your hormone levels and just your overall well-being.
Right.
It suggests things like yoga, meditation, spending time in nature, things
Yeah.
like that to kind of help you unwind and de-stress.
It's like this book is like a roadmap for women to navigate like all these different phases of life. And it's all like kind of centered around nutrition.
Exactly. It reminds us that self-care is so important.
Yeah.
It's not selfish.
Right.
And nourishing our bodies with the right food is a huge part of that.
It really is. And I love that it's like, really empowering us to take control of our health in this really holistic way. As we're like diving deep into all this nutritional wisdom, it makes me think about supplements, because there's so much out there these days. Does the book touch on that at all?
It does. It does. And it definitely emphasizes that a whole foods-based diet should always come first.
Right.
But It acknowledges that sometimes supplements can be helpful to fill in, like, any nutritional gaps,
Right.
especially like, for women who are pregnant or breastfeeding.
Okay.
Like, for example, they might need extra iron or like, omega-3s that they can't get from food alone.
That makes sense. It's like a little boost. But I will say, I've always been so overwhelmed by like the supplement aisle
Oh, yeah.
because there are just so many options. So, does the book offer any guidance on like choosing the right supplements for you?
Yeah, it really stresses talking to your doctor about that.
Okay, good advice.
Figuring out if you have like any specific deficiencies
Right.
and getting personalized recommendations.
Okay, that's always smart. Listen to your doctor,
Mhm.
everybody. This has been such an insightful deep dive, honestly. Like, I feel like I've learned so much.
Me too.
Out of everything we've talked about, like, what surprised you the most about the book?
Honestly, it was the emphasis on the mind-body connection when it comes to nutrition. Like how certain nutrients, like we've touched on omega-3s, but also like B vitamins, can actually impact your mood and your brain function
Hmm.
and even your stress levels.
Oh, that's so interesting. And it makes total sense, right? Because we think about food fueling our bodies,
Yeah.
but it's also like, what we're using to fuel our minds, too.
Exactly. It's not just calories, right?
Yeah.
It's about like, really giving yourself the nutrients to thrive.
Nourishing to thrive. Okay, I love that. And I think that's such a good takeaway from A Woman's Guide to Nutritional Wellness.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't about, like, strict rules or deprivation.
Right.
It's about making informed choices that make you feel your best at every age.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So on that note, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive into A Woman's Guide to Nutritional Wellness. Hopefully this has given you a lot to think about.
Yeah, lots of good information to like, take with you on your journey.
And remember, everybody, it is a journey, not a destination, right?
Exactly.
So thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.